welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into something pretty fascinating. It's a story about a university, one that started with this really grand vision, but now it's smack in the middle of a huge national controversy. We're talking political drama, high-stakes legal battles, the whole 9 yards.
So you gotta ask, right? How on earth does a university end up getting a former prime minister arrested? Well, in 2023, that's precisely what happened. Imran Khan was arrested, and the charges were directly linked to this entity called the Al-Qadir Trust. Just like that, this up-and-coming educational project was thrown right into the center of a massive political firestorm. Okay, so to really get what's going on with the controversy, we first have to understand the institution at the heart of it all. So what is the Al-Qadir Trust? What was it even set up to do? All right, so the Al-Qadir Trust was set up back in 2019. It's a nonprofit, and it had a couple of main goals. One was poverty relief, which is pretty standard, but the big one, the really important one, was creating a university. And not just any university. This was meant to be something with a truly unique, you might even say revolutionary, mission for Pakistan. Okay, let's get into the core idea here, because this is really what sets Al-Qadir apart. See, it wasn't supposed to be just another university popping up. Nope, it was founded on a really specific and pretty interesting philosophical blend. The whole idea, the central aim, was to bring together two worlds that you might think are completely separate. It's like, on one hand, you have this modern Western-style education. We're talking management, technology, all that good stuff. And on the other hand, you have this deep spiritual and ethical training. This side is rooted in Islamic Sufism, which is its mystical tradition, and also in the Sirah, which is the biography of the Prophet Muhammad. So it's a real blend.
And honestly, their mission statement really says it all. The goal was to produce far-sighted leaders who are ethically grounded. So it wasn't just about churning out skilled professionals. The real aim was to create leaders who had a strong moral compass. The hope, I think, was that a new generation of graduates with this kind of ethical foundation could start to tackle some of the big systemic issues, like corruption. Now look, if you have a vision this big, this ambitious, you know you need some serious heavy hitters to make people take it seriously. And that's exactly what the Trust did. They went out and assembled a global team, bringing in some of the most respected names in Islamic scholarship today. So to give this unique curriculum some real credibility, they formed this global advisory board. And let me tell you, these are not small-time figures. We're talking about leading academics from major universities in the US, the UK, and Turkey. It was a huge signal. It basically screamed, we're not just a local project, we're trying to build a globally recognized university here. So the vision is there, the big names are on board, but how do you turn that into an actual physical campus? Well, they built it in a place called Sohawa, which is a semi-rural area in Punjab. Let's take a look at how this all came together, the timeline and the key people who were driving it. And things moved fast. I mean, really fast. They got the land in 2018, they broke ground in 2019, and by 2021, they had their very first students on campus. But that incredible speed ran straight into a wall of legal challenges that just exploded in 2023. And from that moment on, the university's story was completely tangled up with politics. And at the top of it all, the project was founded and really pushed forward by Imran Khan himself. His wife, Bushra Bibi, was also a co-trustee, and she was seen as the main influence behind that really strong focus on Sufism and spiritual development that we talked about. And they really put their money where their mouth is when it comes to that nonprofit mission. Get this, a staggering 95% of the students there are on some kind of financial aid, either full or partial scholarships. Think about what that means. It makes this really unique education accessible to students who might come from some of the most remote and underserved areas of Pakistan. Okay, so with all that said, where does this leave the university today? You've got these huge, ambitious goals on one side and this giant cloud of controversy on the other. You might be wondering, is it even still open? And the answer is yes. Despite all the challenges, it's absolutely a functioning academic institution. It actually operates as an affiliated college of the really prestigious Government College University in Lahore. And that's a big deal because it means its degrees are fully recognized. Right now, there are about 200 to 250 students studying management and Islamic studies there, on its campus in Sohawa. And all of this brings us to one final and really crucial question. Look, the Al-Qadir Trust represents this incredible, unique vision, trying to bridge faith and modernity in education. But right now, you just can't separate its legacy from this massive political and legal battle. So the real question is, can the power of that original vision eventually overcome the controversy of how it all began. That's a story that is very much still being written.